Good morning, America. How are ya? Monday Morning Rail. Hi, I'm Denny Jelsma, and I'm at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum. It's Monday, and you know what we do on Monday? You guessed it. We do show and tell. And show and tell is always brought to you by Jelsma Graphics, the company that makes all the embroidered railroad clothing. They have since 1985 for shirts, jackets, hats, you name it in the embroidery world of railroads. You go to jelsma.com. That's JELSMA.com. And with that being said, show and tell is going to start right now. It's Monday morning and it's time for show and tell. And we would just want to thank all the viewers that have been watching our Monday morning show and tell. We're on Facebook, is just going crazy. We just had one of our shows hit almost 17,000. Last week was 8,000, and we just say thank you. We're on YouTube. We don't get as many views on YouTube. I don't know why, but Facebook is the hot one for us. And so we just thank you for watching, and tell your friends to watch us. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite railroads, and it's going to be very exciting, and that is the Wabash. And before we get going on my show and tell, the train I'm going to talk about, this week in Mexico, Missouri, the Wabash Historical Society is having their annual meeting, and they're having it at the Methodist Church in Mexico, Missouri, and that's this weekend. They have seminars. They even have a small train show that's on Saturday. And so if you're in the Missouri area and you want to go and support the Wabash Historical Society, go to Mexico, Missouri, and stop by the train show that they are going to have there. And just really super guys. I love them. And so I totally believe that we as modelers, your favorite railroad, you need to join your historical society. I think I belong to about 10, and that helps, and you get all kinds of information. It's really neat. And then, you know, I ran across this here, and I smile because today I don't understand people that collect vinyl, but then they can't understand people like me that collect brass. So, but I just love this. I have this hanging in my house, and basically one of the best way men get to know men is through trains. And I just have such a great time coming to my club and meeting the different guys. And for you grandpas out there, and that's who I'm talking to most of, you get that grandson and you start talking and teaching him about trains. I think it's very important. But the train that I want to talk about today is the Columbia, Missouri branch of the Wabash. And we like to talk about all these main trains and all this, but this was a little train that ran from Sedalia, Missouri to Columbia, Missouri. Now, Columbia, Missouri is where the University of Missouri is at, and we had a member of our club. He's passed on, but his name was Art Townsend, and he would ride this and to Sedalia, take a train, and then go into St. Louis, and then Chicago, wherever he was wanting to go. He did this a lot. He could tell us memories about this. And so what I have here is a model of this train, and it was what I call a feeder train to the named trains. And it would start out, it was basically, they brought a lot of mail and REA Express, and then the students would ride to Sedalia, either catch a train to go to Kansas City or to St. Louis, or they could get a train to go to either Omaha or Des Moines from that. And And so it was a feeder train. And one of the things that I just is amazed at Amtrak today, they got up from point A to point B and nowhere to feed in. And you think about that. I understand why a lot of people don't ride these trains today, because it's not very convenient. You know, you hop on an airplane and like us here in Jacksonville, everything north we got to go through Atlanta, and then we change planes with that, or Charlotte, and there's hubs. Amtrak basically really don't have a lot of hubs. They got Washington D.C. And they got Chicago, but they don't have any feeder trains. And so people, in my opinion, would ride a lot of these trains if they had feeder trains, and especially like here in Florida, if they had a feeder train from South Florida to feed into Jacksonville. Oh man, and that's how the trains used to be. But this is a typical feeder train, and they would have maybe 20 passengers, and my models here now, the Wabash is like a lot of, you could have just about whatever color scheme and you're going to be about right because of the fading of the blue. And but these are an RPO, baggage, and then a combination. And this train, sometimes you saw 2 coaches on it, sometimes you saw a combine during low ridership peaks, and so it was a train that was really very well patronized. And basically the reason why it was is because of the University of Missouri at Columbia. And so the Wabash Columbia, Missouri branch, Sedalia, Missouri to Columbia, it was about 30 miles, and it stopped at 4 different places, and it took about an hour and a half. It was a very slow train, but its whole purpose was to get mail and feed the main line of the Wabash for the trains going east and west and going to the north to either Des Moines or Omaha. And so I really like this train, and I just think that I wish Amtrak had more feeder trains, and nothing's going to change there, so that's just the way it is. But the Wabash, and make sure that you go, and if you're in the Missouri area, go to the Wabash Historical Society in Mexico, Missouri, and that's a very nice town, and nice people at the Wabash Historical Society. And so, with all that being said, that's the way it is at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, where the sun always shines and running trains is an absolute pleasure.